here, right where we are. Small little group today. That's good, but it's good to see you all. So I'm glad you're here with us. Still got people coming in, so I got to watch that too. All right. Okay, and we are live. So I want to welcome everyone in. First of all those of you looking in behind the curtain, so to speak, on Zoom, thanks for being here. Thanks for coming on board with us week in and week out. We love having you here. We love interacting before and after the Sunday message. And welcome in all of you looking in on our Facebook page, our social media pages, I should say. And thank you for being here as well. Because we're on location. We're actually at Unity Village this week, and we've bumped into some people that said, "Hey, where's your broadcast? We want to check it out." So might have some new folks looking in this morning. And wherever you are, you're in the right place at the right time. We are so grateful that you are here with us, and we're going to work through our technical stuff here. And Tanae, Reverend Tanae is with us. She's out. She relocated so she could share with us her opening and her daily word. And Reverend Tanae, give me a thumbs up if you are ready to go.
I am ready to go.
All right. So what I'm going to do is, for some reason, I can't seem to spotlight you.
Okay.
But, it's all good. And we're going to make it like that. So I think you are spotlighted now. So love that background. Looks like you are in the hotel lobby here at Unity Village.
Well, one of the lobbies. It's like I don't know, like the little mini lobby area. But
All right. Well, you're good to go. And I know you might have some interruptions with people coming out for breakfast while it's still going over there. So take it away, get us started, and welcome into everybody on Facebook and social media. Thanks for being here. Take it away, Reverend Tanae.
All right. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Let's close our eyes. I closed mine before I told you to close yours. Let's close our eyes and take in a few deep breaths, allowing ourselves to just be one with that indwelling spirit that is within us. Giving thanks right now for gravity. Giving thanks right now that every cell and atom in our bodies, every cell is hearing love. I love you. And I will regenerate in divine order so that you live in a healthy, abundant way. And we give thanks this morning. Amen. All right. So let's see. The daily word for the day is, and today is Sunday, May 3rd, 2026. And the daily word for the day is life. I didn't realize that before I did my prayer. So it's life. And the affirmation today is, with joy, I dance in the fountain of life. So we'll say that together 3 times. With joy, I dance in the fountain of life. With joy, I dance in the fountain of life. With joy, I dance in the fountain of life. And it goes on to read, observing children playing in a fountain, I hear them laughing as they dart through the sprays of water, surprised by sudden geysers. Sunlight turns the wafting mist into prisms of color, a reminder that the same joy and light dance in me. Life can feel like that fountain, fun, but sometimes catching me by surprise. If I resist, I grow weary. But when I move with its rhythm, dodging, laughing, and dancing, I feel the pulse of divine life. Even in challenging circumstances, I can regard the spray as refreshment, the soaking as grace. Each of these baptisms becomes an invitation to cleansing, renewal, and awakening. It's a chance to grow in spirit. As I join life's dance, I am lifted. Creativity awakens, joy abounds, and I feel fully alive. And our scripture reference today is from the book of Psalm, and it is chapter 36, verse 9. And it reads, "For with you is the fountain of life. In your light we see light." May the Lord add a blessing to the reading and to the hearing of these words today. God bless each of you.
Wow, that's very good, very awesome. And I know she did a great job remaining focused because, as you know, there's probably people coming for breakfast moving about all around her. So here we are. Welcome in again. And we're going to dive right into today's message. And it's really a conclusion of this series. It's been a 4-week series that we have been looking at the work of not only Dr. Joseph Murphy and the power of your subconscious mind, but really the principles that engage the power of our subconscious mind and the natural laws that we are working with and interacting with. So don't forget that either on our YouTube channel or on our Facebook page for at least 30 days, Facebook is always changing the rules. You can find these. And if you can't find them, you let us know and we can get them to you so that you can certainly go back and listen and make notes like so many of you have been doing. So we are going to conclude our series today. And this is really part 4. We've done 4 parts already in the conclusion. We're titling this The Power Within: Prayer, Imagination, and Manifestation. And I looked at that as PIM because I had to memorize that. I had to go outside and do the preview. I do a preview every Sunday, about an hour before we go live, and I do that on social media. And I go, okay, what am I talking about today? PIM, prayer, imagination, manifestation. Great way for me to remember it anyway. So, my friends, today we have arrived at the culmination of this series, The Power Within. And over these past few weeks, we've been on yet another journey inward. You know, every time we talk and share and speak and study together, it's still a journey inward, pointing you in directions of where do we go and look inside, right? Looking in those nooks and crannies. And over these past few weeks, um, I think I just love talking about the subconscious mind, the work of Dr. Joseph Murphy, and this journey inward. We've explored really the truth that we talk about so often, and perhaps a different way in this series, about the world within, creating the world without. And then we went into examining the law of belief, right? And then we looked at reprogramming the subconscious mind to facilitate the transformation we seek. And today we bring it all together and we step into what I like to call the real application of it all. Now, every message that we share, there's a application that you can make in your own life and action steps you can take. But this is really the whole step into the application of all this that we've been talking about. And it is prayer, imagination, and manifestation. We're going to look how those integrate together to produce some results in our lives. So I know many of you that have been with us for a long time probably get this, but there's always somebody new getting our messages and looking in, and it doesn't hurt to cover this because in general, I think we all need to make a shift in understanding prayer. And depending, even us that have been together with each other for a long period of time, some of those old established beliefs are deeply rooted. So it serves us well to take another look at prayer, to understand it in the new light, the way that we talk about it in the context here of new thought and unity, divine science, science of mind, and all of that. Because for many people, prayer has been misunderstood. Prayer has so often been about or seen as asking, right? Even begging, hoping, pleading, waiting, trying to convince something outside of us to change, to intercede, to come in and do something different. But in the teachings of Dr. Joseph Murphy, and in fact, what we talk about in Unity, and in all of the deeper metaphysical tradition, prayer is something different. Prayer is alignment. Prayer is the act of bringing the conscious and the subconscious mind into harmony with divine truth. Alignment. Prayer is not changing God. Prayer is allowing truth to change us. So let's look at the inner movement of prayer. When prayer is understood correctly, it begins within. It's a shift in awareness, a movement from fear to faith, as I talk a lot about, and even most recently, we talked a lot about a movement from fear to faith and how important that is. It's a movement from confusion to clarity, from anxiety to peace, from striving to knowing. The moment that shift occurs, the moment it occurs, something begins to happen. Because the subconscious mind responds to what is accepted as true. Not what is wished for, but what is repeated, even repeated mechanically. Because we got to get into that mechanical repetition of our affirmations wrapped in feeling and emotion, right? But it's not just what is repeated mechanically. It's what is accepted. What are we accepting? What are we accepting? So let's look at the power of inner acceptance for a moment here, because this is why many prayers seem unanswered. And I always say, and I'm always commenting, all prayers are answered. Maybe not the way that we wished for or wanted, but many prayers do seem unanswered, not because they are unheard, but because they are not accepted. There's a difference between saying, I am at peace, and truly feeling, I am at peace. There's a difference between saying, I am supported, and yet inwardly expecting struggle. Prayer becomes effective when thought and feeling unite, when belief and expectation align, when the inner world, all of it, agrees with truth. So now let's look at, in all of this, the role of imagination, if you will. Because imagination, our spiritual power of imagination, it's one of those superpowers, because it's a mental faculty and a spiritual faculty as well, or a spiritual power, spiritual capacity. And it's one of the most powerful spiritual faculties we possess. And yet it is often used unconsciously. Many people imagine negatively without realizing it. And we have to be aware of this. And I have to watch the room too, because I see a couple of people fell off and I don't know if that was intentional or not. But think about this, because we all do it, right? And we got to catch ourselves. And I'm so glad that I am in this marital relationships with Reverend Tanae, because we're so good at pulling each other out of it. And she was very instrumental in helping me to use my imagination in the direction we want to move, rather in a direction that I don't want to move. So we can support each other that way. And we're here to support you in that way as well, because this is the most powerful spiritual faculty we possess. But man, imagining negatively, think about that without even realizing it. We sometimes too. People, all of us, we imagine what could go wrong, right? We're using our power of imagination to imagine what could go wrong. We imagine failure. We imagine rejection, right? We imagine loss. And those images become impressions upon the subconscious mind. But imagine was not given to us to create fear. It was given to us to create possibility. So it is necessary for us to see beyond appearances. And imagination allows us to do that, right? Imagination allows us to see beyond current conditions, beyond what appears to be right in front of us. It allows us to hold a higher vision. It allows us to perceive what is not yet visible. And this is what Jesus did. He saw beyond the condition, right? Beyond the condition, beyond what appeared to be right in front of him. This is what we're called to do. He saw wholeness where others saw illness, right? He saw abundance, tremendous abundance. We hear it so often in the loaves and the fishes and the feeding 5,000 and on and on and on and on. He saw abundance where others saw only lack. He saw possibility where others saw limitation. And he invited others, all of us, into that same vision. So let's look at imagination as spiritual vision. Imagination is not fantasy, it is spiritual vision. It's the ability to mentally center into a higher reality, to see it, to feel it, to accept it before it becomes visible, right? This is where manifestation begins. And so now we want to look at the union of thought, feeling, and image, right? Here's the key. When thought, feeling, and image, imagination, come together, the subconscious receives a crystal clear impression. This is so important. And whether it's in our spiritual work or in our secular, out in the world, even with our leadership management material and our leadership development material, when we're working with an organization or corporation, we talk about crystallizing our thinking, crystallizing our vision, because we're sending a clear impression to the subconscious mind. And that impression becomes a pattern. And that pattern begins to express. This is spiritual law. It's spiritual law. It's not like maybe sometimes it's spiritual law. So where are we moving? We're moving ourselves, and my dearest favorite teacher, Dr. Wayne Dyer, talked about this all the time, living from the end. And so did Neville Goddard, living from the end, and so do all the great teachers, living from the end. Dr. Murphy teaches what we might call living from the end. Instead of hoping something will happen, we move into it energetically. We enter into the consciousness where it already has. It already exists. We move into it. We're not just looking at this like we're looking at a movie on a screen. We enter into the consciousness where it has already taken place, where it is real, where we feel it. We feel the peace. We feel the gratitude. We feel the clarity, the fulfillment. When we look at the Unity 5-step prayer method, we look at relaxation, then concentration, then meditation, then realization. That's the realization, making it real. It's already real because we have created it with clarity using the power of imagination in our mind. And then we move into the realization that it is so. It has been fulfilled. Everything has been created twice. We have already done it. Now it's just simply making that movement into form. So that inner dwelling place where we dwell energetically, where we dwell in the inner state, begins to shape our outer experience. All sorts of events and circumstance and people and things beyond what we can even possibly conceive wherever we are right now in the gestation period, if you will, starts to move in to support us along our way. But we have to remain consistent. And here's why consistency matters. And here's where many people, many of us struggle. Because they do this briefly, what we're talking about here, they do it briefly. That sounds good. I love it. Taking notes. Going to move into it this week. We do it briefly. And then we return to old thinking. And don't judge yourself, don't beat yourself up, because it's the paradigms that are in control, the conditioned way that we have built our lives, right? But awareness, remember the talk a few talks ago, awareness is everything. But this is what happens. People struggle, they do this work briefly, then return to old thinking. They pray once, right? But they worry repeatedly, right? Repetition. We always talk about repetition causes retention. So they worry repeatedly. They imagine possibility and then rehearse fear, right? So we do this work momently, but then we go back to old thinking, praying once, worry repeatedly, lather, rinse, repeat, imagine possibility on the negative pole, then rehearse fear. And the subconscious mind receives mixed impressions. What do I do here? Because it only knows whatever the thoughts are wrapped in feeling and emotion as being reality here and now energetically. So where does it go? How does it guide us? What are we feeding most? That is an important key to remember. What are we feeding? And I shared this with someone this week. Are we feeding, and I talk about it all the time, more and more so recently, to help support me in decisions I'm making. Are we feeding fear or faith? And we have to be aware that the subconscious mind is going to receive these mixed impressions, whether we want them to or not. So we have to be deliberately in charge. Remember the talk on the will being the gatekeeper. We have to activate that gatekeeper, that power of the will, because consistency matters. Repetition matters. Alignment matters. So here's the practice of true prayer. I want to offer a simple way to practice this. Simple way. You become still. All right. This is really aligning with our prayer method, but you become still. Just be still. Quiet the body. Let the body settle. You center the mind. You state your intention clearly. And when you state intentions, it's always present tense from the position of the I am, your essence, the Christ of God you are. I am. And you imagine the outcome. I am that I am. I love to start my day with, I am what love is. And I move into that. I am that. I am. I feel it as real. That sets my foundation. I know even if I move out of that in my words and my actions from time to time, my subconscious mind has received the impression to start my day. And that gatekeeper of the will moves me back. Hey, wait a minute. You affirmed this morning that I am what love is. So do what you got to do and get back into alignment with thought, word, and action that is supportive of I am what love is, because you said that you want to be that you are that. This is how it works. And it's whatever we want to create in our lives, whatever that intention is. I am that. I am successful. I am successful in my professional life, and I succeed daily with my consistent daily habits. Whatever it is, you build this out. So you become still, you quiet the body, you center the mind, you state your intention clearly, you imagine the outcome using the power of your imagination, you feel it as real, and then you release it in trust, not forcing, not striving, not checking constantly. And Reverend Tanae is really good at this too. She reminded me the other day, because I used to do this all the time at Christmas shopping, but we're not in a big city with malls anymore. So it used to be just, I'm going to go and know, and I'm going to park in front. Simple. There's a simple explanation or example of all of this. But she did it the other way. Just go up in front. There'll be a spot there. And sure enough, there was. So we release it in trust. We know. We know that the divine is supporting us, is on our side. It is already so. No forcing, no striving, no, and here's a big one, no checking constantly. And as many of you know, I've been on this weight loss journey, and I had to stop getting on the scale every 5 minutes. I mean, today said, don't even get on it every day. So I went like that for a while, and I did a weekly thing. And then approaching the goal weight, I started getting on it every day. But whatever it is, if we have a long-term goal that we want, hey, I want to sock away $1 million or $100,000 or an extra $25. We don't keep going and checking the bank balance every 5 minutes. Whatever the goal is, we don't check constantly. What's the saying? Appearance of lack of evidence.
Lack of evidence is not evidence of absence.
It's something like that. We'll get to it. We'll fine tune it. We don't check constantly. We trust that the law has been set in motion. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. There it is. Remember that from the quantum leap guy, right? So here's an example in daily life. Let's make this practical for everyone. If you are seeking clarity, you do not dwell in confusion. You enter into clarity inwardly. You see yourself clear. You see and feel yourself decisive. You experience direction, right? We're doing this work inwardly. We're making that impression all the way along. You experience direction and you rest in that awareness. That impression begins to work, right? We got to call in the spiritual power of faith here too. Don't forget that. I touched on it a little bit because it has its role here. Faith sustains this whole process. Faith is not, and I'm not talking about blind belief here, right? Faith is that inner knowing. Just go up front, a parking spot will be there. It's not, I know it'll be there. Faith is inner knowing. Faith is trust in the unseen movement of life. Unseen movement of life. Remember, it's from one of my favorite quotes from Goethe. All sorts of events, circumstances, people, all that move in to support you that we couldn't have possibly have known. Unseen movement of life. We have to have faith in it. I don't see it yet, but it's moving in. It's supporting this vision I'm holding to with faith and strength. Faith is continuing to align even when the results are not immediate. Right? It's not immediate, so I'm not going to the box of cookies over there. Because everything begins within, right? I have to remain in the place where I hold on to slim and trim. All right. I hear giggling in the background. This is fun doing it in the same room. We're not used to doing that. I can hear all the little sounds. Everything begins within. Let's bring this entire series together here for you now. I'm running out of time. I get excited about this work. You know that we love doing this, Danae and I. Let's see the whole picture, okay? Number one, the world within creates the world without. That was the first lesson in this series. Becoming aware of that. Because we spend time within, right? And I bet everybody out there can resonate with this. When we wake up in the middle of the night and we're wide awake and we rehearse some of this, isn't it all magnified? Doesn't it seem to speak louder that which we don't want to experience? We're laying there. It's like, wow, that's pretty loud shouting at me. Yeah, what I don't want to create, man, that image is really coming in. Man, we're aware of it. We got to make that shift. And we can do this because if I can do it, you can do it. The world within creates the world without. That was lesson one. And then we talked about belief shaping that inner world. We know error thoughts are going to come and go. But our belief, what do we truly believe? I am supported by the divine. I am God in expression. I am the Christ of God. Nothing is impossible with God. With God, all things are possible. I believe that. And belief shapes that inner world. That was talk two. Number three was last week, the subconscious mind stores and expresses those patterns. Whatever we give it in the present tense, here and now, we're wrapped with feeling and emotion, moves to the top of the list, right? And it starts to build out our outer experiences from that impression. The subconscious mind stores and expresses the patterns. We can deliberately and intentionally feed it, therefore fostering and facilitating the transformation we wish to experience. And today, prayer, imagination, spiritual vision, and feeling direct all those patterns. This is the system. This is the power within. So your invitation, your mission, should you choose to accept it this week, is to be intentional. Be aware of your inner dialogue. Be aware of your beliefs. Use your imagination consciously. Don't let it run around without a leash, all right? Just pretend you're on the beach here in Okaloosa County. You got to have that on a leash, man. You don't want that running around all over. It can harm somebody, right? Use your imagination consciously and deliberately. You are the director. Oh, my mind was running all over the place. You're in control. Take control. Have some affirmations ready. Write them out on a postcard or index card. Have them go to. No, I'm not going down that road. That's scary going down that road. And it can be. I know it. Feel what you desire to experience. Feel into that. Align with truth through prayer. Move to prayer. Move to thanksgiving. Move to gratitude. Anything that helps you make that shift. And allow life to respond. And boy, I've had to do this over the last 2 or 3 weeks. I know you're sick of hearing it, but it's, man, make that shift. I cannot fail with God. cannot fail with God. So why am I even considering those possibilities? Maybe I'm being practical a little bit. Maybe I could lose it all. But no, I can't. Because I can't fail when I'm in alignment with God, with truth, with these principles we talk about week in, week out, with law, with divine mind. So my friends, you're not separate from the creative process. You're participating with it all the time. You're participating in it. Every thought, every belief, every image, every feeling, you are shaping your outer experience. And when you align with truth, baby, I shouldn't have said baby. You're sitting right there, though. Anyway, when you align with truth, life reflects that alignment. It truly does. So let's affirm together the divine intelligence within me. And we have some of those of you in our Zoom room, I can tell, are writing this down. So for those of you looking in on YouTube or Facebook or wherever you're getting this, we're going to go slow so you can write it down too. The divine intelligence within me guides my thoughts. Got that? The divine intelligence within me guides my thoughts, shapes my vision, and brings forth right expression, I'll put it all together, don't worry. The divine intelligence within me guides my thoughts, shapes my vision, and brings forth right expression in every area of my life. In every area of my life. The divine intelligence within me guides my thoughts, shapes my vision, and brings forth right expression in every area of my life. I align with truth. I feel its reality, and I trust its perfect outworking. So that last line is, I align with truth. I feel its reality, and I trust its perfect outworking. So we put it all together today, just put a nice amen on the end. The divine intelligence within me guides my thoughts, shapes my vision, and brings forth right expression in every area of my life. I align with truth. I feel its reality, and I trust its perfect outworking. Let us pray. Divine presence, we thank you for the power within us. We thank you for the ability to align with truth, to see beyond appearances, to feel the reality of your loving presence, and to trust the unfolding of life. We rest in that knowing, and we allow it to be, and so it is. Now let's just do a brief meditation around all of this. I'm going to put on a little background music. I need to turn it up a little bit, I think. Can you hear anything out there, Sandy? You got it? Got it? You got it, Trixie? Good. Okay, great. Thank you. All right, so let's take a deep breath and just anchor ourselves into this eternal moment of now, gently coming into the stillness within. Taking a few deep breaths and just slowly releasing them. Breathing in peace. Breathing out all tension. Allowing our bodies to soften. letting the shoulders relax and just letting our breath become slow and steady, not controlling it in any way, just allowing. Now bring all your awareness inward, beyond the outer world, into the sacred inner space of your being. Become aware. Aware there is a presence within you. A divine intelligence. Quiet knowing. Creative power. This presence is not distant. It is not separate. It is the very life within you. Now gently allow yourself to rest in that awareness. I like to look at it as life with an uppercase L, divine life, living me. Just rest in the awareness that it is there. It is here and now. And to do this, we're not striving, we're not thinking, we're just being. Now bring into your awareness something in your life. An area where you are ready for clarity, for healing, for direction, for expression. Do not force anything. Just simply allow it to come into your awareness. There it is. Now, instead of focusing on the problem, gently shift your awareness to the outcome. To the outcome you desire. See it. See it. As if it is already complete, already resolved, already unfolding perfectly. See yourself at peace. See yourself whole. See yourself clear. See yourself supported. See yourself abundantly blessed. See it all. Now begin to feel it. Feel the relief. Feel the gratitude. Feel the calm assurance. You got this. It is yours now. And let that feeling expand. Let it fill your awareness. This is my reality now. It is done. It is so. Let it become real within you. Now softly affirm with me within. I align my mind with divine truth. I align my mind with divine truth. I accept the reality of peace, clarity, and right expression. I accept the reality of peace, clarity, and right expression. And finally, the divine intelligence within me is now bringing this into perfect form. The divine intelligence within me is now bringing this into perfect form. Rest in that knowing. No effort, no strain, only alignment, only trust. Now become aware that what you have accepted within is already moving into expression in ways seen and unseen. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, affirm, it is done in consciousness, and it is now unfolding in my life. It is done in consciousness, and it is now unfolding in my life. And rest. Rest just for a moment in that deep sense of peace. And gently return, carrying this knowing with you. You are aligned. You are supported. You are participating in the creative process of life. And together we affirm once again, the power within me is guiding, shaping, and expressing a life of truth, peace, and fulfillment. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. All right, let's bring our awareness back gently whenever we're comfortable. No rush. Stay with me here on Zoom, all of you. And at this time, we're going to say farewell to those of you looking in on social media, on YouTube, and whatever channels you're finding us on. And say thank you for looking in. We thank you for looking in. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ in each and every one of you. We'll see you next week. Same time, Mother's Day, 9 a.m. Central Time. For now, I wish for you an infinitely spectacular day. This is Reverend Dr. Stephen J. 𝗂𝗪𝗏, along with Reverend Tanae 𝗂𝗪𝗏, here at Unity Prosperity Ocean International. God bless you.